Howdy folks, Spencer here, and today I'll be going over the stats of the Breen Dreadnought carrier and giving you my initial impression of it. As always, chapters to each topic are listed below. Starting with the cost, this is a promotional ship that will be arriving on the PC version of Star Trek Online on July 29th of 2025. Console players will likely be getting this ship sometime in September. Premium lockbox and promo ships are very expensive single character ships. If you'd like to learn more about the drop rates for STO's gamble boxes, I'll have my video going over that linked below. But keep in mind that you do not have to gamble for this ship yourself. You will be able to acquire it via the player exchange or via trade channels for loads and loads of VC. I'm gonna guess at least 1.5 billion. And of course, this will be an option from the premium ship box in future event campaigns. However, the 2025 event campaign 7 will not have this as an option, as only ships from before 2025 are included in this specific event campaign. And before I get into the stats, just a quick note that due to the significance of the ship, I will be dropping a full review for it later this week. The visuals and info for how much they had to scale the model down to make it playable in STO will all be covered in that video. Now moving over to the stats, the Odd Thought is an Intel tactical carrier featuring 2 hangar bays and a 5.2 weapon setup, which does support dual cannons. It has a very high hull modifier of 1.7, matching the Herc Vedcrid for the highest hull capacity in the game. In exchange, it has a slightly lower shield modifier of 0.9. Being a large, bulky capital ship, the mobility stats are quite low with a base turn rate of 5, impulse mod of 0.17, and inertia rating of 40. So this will be a very sluggish ship. Device-wise, you have 3 slots. Consoles are 5 TAC, 3 engine, 3 Psi. The power buff is plus 20 weapons power. As you can tell, this has quite a bit of a firepower focus. And feature-wise, alongside the 2 hangar bays that come with the Breen Imperium frigates by default, you've got a built-in Imperium Polaron subjugation array, the Gather Intel mechanic, a 32nd century Breen cloak, which I would imagine is a battle cloak, and the blog claims it also has subsystem targeting built in. Now for the mastery package, this has the tactical carrier package, which is minus hangar pet recharge time, plus max hull capacity, plus weapon damage, and plus max shield hit points. And for the bridge officer setup, this has a commander tac with intel, a lieutenant commander universal with command, lieutenant commander science, a lieutenant engineer, and an ensign tac. Intel Command is a very strong specialization combo, and with the overall layout here, this is going to be an excellent platform for energy weapons, kinetics, tanking, and hybrid energy weapon and exotic Do-Psi setups. The Commander Intel means you've got access to everything Intel has to offer, such as Override Subsystem Safeties 3, and of course, Surgical Strikes 3. That Lieutenant Commander Universal with Command will likely end up as a tac seat for most players, allowing you to utilize more of that Intel seat. And with that Lieutenant Commander Command, that's also giving you access to either Concentrate Firepower 3 for Torps or Suppression Barrage 1 for tanking or increasing your survivability on an energy weapon setup. And this has a separate Lieutenant Commander Science, which also means you can bring in a Gravwell 1. Overall, it's a really solid setup, and with the overall stats this ship has, I'd say it's the best premium ship we've seen in quite some time, certainly in 2025 so far, and that's before we even factor in what the accessories have to offer. The blog doesn't have any information about the hangar pets, so I'll cover those in the review. But for the Admiralty card, you can see that's 31 inch, 29 Psi, 66 TAC, and 2.5 times critical rating from TAC. And we do have some information about the built-in array this has. So this is 4 Polaron beams that sit forward facing on the ship, poised to make a very bad day for the unfortunate soul that crosses this floating weapon. When the 4 beams are concentrated against a target, only destruction remains for those who do not have enough shielding to withstand such a devastating blast. This blast deals a massive amount of shield-penetrating shield damage and increases the amount of damage that the enemy shields will take if there's any remaining. So it sounds interesting. We'll have to see what the charge-up time is on this and how effective it actually is, but hopefully it gives us a nice visual like was shown in the show. Next up is the console shield frequency overload. Passives on this are a small amount of Starship Drain expertise and TAC readiness, nothing that impactful. As for the clicky, this is going to do different things depending on the target. Against most ships, it is going to overload their shields, resulting in the shields being drained and their shields going offline for some time. But against Dreadnoughts, it will only drain part of their shields and then apply a shield resistance debuff to them for some time as well. And to any target, regardless of rank, it will then deal damage to the ship's hull equal to whatever amount of shields it removed, or 100,000 damage, whichever is less. Anything to drain or disable shields is always nice to see. We'll have to test it out to see how it does against the other shield disables out there like Crenum Chronophage, but regardless of how it does, it likely won't be relevant to everyone out there, especially given the price tag of the ship. Now, I don't think anyone's going to go out and pick this ship up just for this console, but with this having a damage cap and with there being much cheaper shield drains and disables out there nowadays, wait for some testing to be done before you factor this into your decision. And heading over to the Starship trait, this is Breen Free Fire, and oh boy, you best have some popcorn ready for this one. This is a fire at will extender that adds 7 seconds to the duration of fire at will. Basically, it's the fire at will equivalent to Cannon Scatter Volley's Withering Barrage. The uptime is slightly lower given fire at will has a 20-second minimum cooldown, but this will enable 17 out of 20 seconds or 85% uptime for any rank of fire at will. Now, there are several other ways to extend your fire at will uptime, including some at much cheaper price points. But the issue with all of them is they either don't extend the uptime enough, or there's a downside that hurts the value of that approach. For instance, using the Entwined Tactical Matrices ETM Starship trait from the Zen Store's Gagarin, it is possible to achieve 100% uptime on fire at will. But that requires you use a fast-firing torpedo with torpedo spread and have some control over your ability activations. Aside from all that, all of the other extension methods have lower uptime potential than this trait, and also, again, have some negatives associated, which I will explore in a future comparison video. With this, they are finally giving us the fire at will extender that folks have been wanting to see for many years. One that is simply slotted and extends the uptime, which we have seen with every other firing mode for a very long time. But it being on a premium ship like this is bound to cause outrage, especially with these being per character ships. That means if you want this on multiple characters, it is going to get very expensive very fast. But to wrap things up, the Breen Yod Thought Intel Dreadnought carrier is one of the most important premium ships added to the game in some time, and is likely to be one of the most controversial ship additions that we have ever seen in the history of STO. The ship itself is the third tactical carrier in the game with a 5-2 weapon setup, the first two having been the Zenkethi Zentaur in 2017 and the Terran Acheron in 2022. And this Breen one happens to have the benefit of having a specialization combo and bridge officer layout that are a bit more conductive, a bit more appealing for the current state of the game. To put it simply, this Breen Yod Thought is designed to bring in devastating firepower, and they've actually given it a bridge officer setup and overall layout that are going to enable us to fulfill that intention. And then we have the accessories, of which the Starship trait is the clear star here. People have been asking for a good fire at will extender for years, and it is finally here. The issue is, it's on a premium gamble ship that will easily cost over $100 worth of resources for each character you want the ship and trade on. And to make the pricing situation worse, the ship is quite desirable. Many premium ships over the past year have been a bit weaker compared to prior offerings, likely due to some of the chaos with the transition. So now that we have a highly desired ship with what is likely to be one of the most popular Starship traits ever added into the game, demand for it is bound to be much higher than we've seen in quite some time. Now, I know that this being a premium ship is very demotivating for many of you. The only good thing I can say in that regard is that this will at least be an option from the premium ship boxes in future event campaigns, though keep in mind that the current event campaign running in 2025 will not have this ship as an option. So getting this ship for free will be possible in the future, but that would be mid to late 2026 at the earliest for most of you. And that's all I have for you guys today. Let me know what you think of this ship and its accessories in the comments below. And a reminder, I will be testing this ship out live on stream July 29th at 5 PM Central or 10 PM GMT, and I'll probably have my review out for it on the 30th or 31st. I'm going to be making sure to get a review out on this one, given just how important the ship and the accessories are. But that's it for today. Again, thank you to all channel members and viewers for the continued support. See you guys around.